engaging celebrity interviews, exciting updates from Christian filmmakers, movie reviews so you can choose your movies wisely, and so much more here on Faith on Film with Isaac Hernandez and Holly McClure.
Hello and welcome to this special episode of Faith on Film. Now, what makes it special? Well, it is because today we will be coming to you from Capernaum Studios. We were there for a media conference called Content 2024. Now, what is Content 2024? Well, it's a Christian media conference in its 10th year now, by the way, that's held every year, in which many media professionals, actors, directors, producers come to connect with each other, to learn from the various panelists that are there. And of course, that gives us an opportunity to grab a few of them and have some interviews for you. So you'll be hearing from three very special people involved in the media industry. And don't go away, because stay till the end, because there's a very special little surprise for you at the end. But before we go, I just want to remind you to check out our website. Go to our website at faithonfilmtv.com. That's faithonfilmtv.com, where you will find just lots of great content in there. You can watch all our shows, all our past shows, through the website. You can just go down to where the shows are, click on it, and it'll take you right to that episode. You'll also learn a little bit about Holly and myself, a little bit about who we are. This is the special thing. There's also a lot of interviews that Holly has done over the years with the big Hollywood stars. You can find those there on Holly on Hollywood, and also some reviews on some of the past Hollywood movies. So there's lots of great content for you to check out there. So just go to, again, faithonfilmtv.com. Well, it's time to go to these great interviews. Again, three interviews, three people that we got a chance to talk to while at Content 2024. And don't forget, stick to the end, because there's a very special little surprise for you. Here we go. Well, I am here right now with a great actor, Benjamin Dane. Now, Benjamin, I've known you for several years, way back from a movie that you did. What was it called again?
Beyond the Farthest Star.
Beyond the Farthest Star.
Yes.
But you've done a lot more stuff since then. And right now you're a part of a very important project called Struck. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So Struck is the true story of John D. Morris. He was a geologist. He's kind of a modern day Indiana Jones that was struck by God to find evidence of the Ark of Noah.
Ooh.
And then we parallel that story with the actual account of Noah from the Bible. So it's two parallel stories.
Wow.
But these two men are obedient to God and separated by time.
Wow. So you're actually filming Noah content.
Yes.
That can't be cheap.
No, it's not. That's why we need lots and lots of money.
Well, folks, if you have lots and lots of money, make sure you contact Ben Dane here to help them out. So how did this project come about?
Well, there was a lady, Sue Ellen Roberts, who had an idea. She met John D. Morris at a church, and she said, man, you're like a modern day Indiana Jones. It would be great to do a movie about your life. So that's where the concept started. Wes and Amanda Llewellyn came on board and were involved. And John he was just this humble man. And he really didn't want a movie about his life. He really didn't want to kind of say he did these amazing things. But when he found out, when Wes had the idea to add Noah to the story and make it more about Noah and creation, because that's what he gave his life for, John was always about the world needs to know the Bible is real, that creation was real, and this evolution stuff isn't real. And so he said, this is going to be an incredible project. So then it went from a movie to a streaming series, and now we're working on it. It's going to be an epic adventure series.
Wow. Do you remember the movie Noah that came out a few years ago?
Unfortunately, I do remember that.
What a disgrace that was. I went to go see it, and it looked amazing, but I hated the angle that they took. I mean, they made Noah like a lunatic, crazy, angry man.
guy. He's trying to kill his family on the ark. There's these mammoth rock monsters. I don't know where they got that idea from.
I don't know.
But we actually did a shirt, and it says "No more rock monsters." So we have a little cross, out symbol over the rock monster, because I mean, here's the thing. That's what happens when the world takes a true biblical story and tries to make it their own, with no thought, without the Holy Spirit guiding them. And that movie was a huge failure. The thing about it is they didn't put the silly stuff in the trailers, and everyone wanted to go see a story about Noah, because everyone loves the story of Noah, and they wanted to see the special effects and all the things. But the movie made, I think, $40 million at its first weekend, because they didn't put the silly stuff in the trailer. But once people saw the movie, they're like, okay, this is not right. Bad word of mouth got out, and the movie bombed. It tanked.
That'll kill the movie right there. I remember that's the same. I think it was the following weekend, maybe, that God's Not Dead, the first one, came out.
Yes.
And I remember then the ability to turn everything around. I posted on my Facebook page, no, don't go see Noah. You want to see a good Christian movie?
Exactly.
Go see God's Not Dead.
Exactly.
And I think that just because a lot of people did that. It wasn't like I did it and hey, everybody stopped seeing it. No, a lot of people, I don't have that much influence. A lot of people did, and I think it's what made a huge difference. It was just, why, in whose mind did it come up with that, let's hire an atheist to do this movie?
I know. Well, it was probably the director, because the director has this anger against God that came from somewhere, not from the Lord, but it was this let's destroy the scriptures with all the silly stuff, and they miss that this is a story, a God-ordained story, where the ark represents the saving grace of God, and it connects to Christ. Christ is our ark. He saves us from a world of darkness, a world of sin, and we're going to be eternally with him, just like he shut the family up in the ark and saved them from catastrophe. But no, because I think when you've got a secular director, they don't understand the Spirit of God and his heart.
And I don't have a problem with hiring secular people for movies, but I think that maybe the director should at least understand the faith that the movie's all about.
Exactly.
That was always just why would they have done that? Now, here comes the question of the day. What part do you play in Scrub?
Well, I play Noah.
Oh,
yes, yeah. It's fun. So I played everything from Christ. I used to play Christ quite a bit in Passion plays. So I played Christ, and I played the devil and the Antichrist in Israel for a production, and now I'm playing Noah. So Noah is an incredible character, because it says in the New Testament, and people don't realize that how many things are in the Bible about Noah, but it says in the New Testament that he was an evangelist, that he was a preacher. So the time after he saw the vision that the Lord gave him to build the ark, he wanted to save his generation. And then it also says, I think it's 2 Peter, it talks about how the Lord sent Christ down into the abyss after he was crucified to save the people, to set the captives free. And he was preaching to the people of Noah's time. Is that amazing?
There's something I didn't know.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's amazing. Well, how can people keep up with where you guys are at and what you're doing?
Yes, so go to strucktheseries.com and sign up for the Lightning Club, because we send you a once-a-month communique, and you can join the effort, join the movement behind this incredible epic adventure series. The thing about it is that when you join the Lightning Club, we send you a once-a-month communique, and it lets you into the latest and greatest developments in the series, so you know before we release it to the public. And there's some contests and some giveaways and stuff like that too, but we need your help. If you really want to see this epic adventure series. It's much like The Chosen. You know, The Chosen started out really small, and when people started finding out what it was all about, they got involved and they shared it. That's what we need. We need followers that say, okay, I love The Chosen, but now what's next? I want to see an epic adventure, a true life story of a real man and two real men, one in the Bible and one contemporary, that were sold out and obedient to the Lord. But go to strucktheseries.com.
And if you have a few $1 million just burning a hole in your pocket, definitely go to strucktheseries.com.
Hey, and we're tax deductible, so don't forget that.
Thank you, Dane, for joining us today.
Thank you so much, man.
It is my honor and pleasure to introduce you all to someone. I've been talking about Capernaum for months and months, a year now, and it's exciting to introduce you to the person who I work for Capernaum. Tammy Lane, welcome. She's going to be talking today about Capernaum Studios and much more. Welcome.
Well, thank you for having me, Holly.
So fun to have her on Faith on Film. This is such a unique experience. I wanted to get some words with her today. We're at the Content Conference, as you guys know, and we want to talk about Capernaum and an exciting kind of announcement that we want to talk about, something coming for this event. Now, this is content, which is separate from Capernaum, but we sponsor the event, right?
Yes.
And tell how important it is to bring them here to Capernaum.
Well, the Lord told me many years ago that we would have filmmakers here, and it took a really long time to bring filmmakers. But now look at this conference and how many filmmakers are here.
Yes.
It's really awesome. So
Yes.
I'm very thankful and blessed that everybody's here. They are learning. We're doing workshops. We're doing panels today. Some really good panels, and got all kinds of filmmakers, producers, directors, actors. It's a lot of fun.
And the idea of this, of having here, is to bring people in who want to be writers, directors, producers. Not everyone is going to make a movie, but some people want to write a script. Some people want to learn how to direct. Some people just want to know kind of how the general behind the scenes. So this, at Content, they have classes that teach everything. It has an opportunity to learn about everything, right?
Yes.
And that's what's fun about it. Now, we've also had fun because we have been introducing people to new additions since they were here last year. We have the Colonial Village, right? And then we have another Stage C. We've been calling it Emmaus House. It's just another sound stage, a stage for people to use.
Holly named it Stage C, so that's what we're calling it now.
At least for today.
For today.
That may change. But we're doing that. So people that have been coming like, wow, there's new additions. So we're growing at Capernaum, aren't we?
Yes. And one of our main new additions is the lobby and bathrooms right outside here. So I'm really excited about that because last year people had to walk all the way through the village to the bathrooms. But this year they're just right there, very nice, and we've got it all set up. So
Lovingly called our foyer.
The foyer, yes.
And then we, at Capernaum, first of all, just a little bit of history, how you started, because people are like, well, how did you? First of all, she is one of the few women, and I really want to mention this, who own a full production studio. There's not a lot of women in this country. People own sound stages, they own production companies, but we're talking about a studio. So it's very novel and unique. But look into the camera and tell people how you started the studio.
Well, the Lord started dropping short films into my spirit, and so I wrote 7 biblical short films and really wanted to produce them. Didn't know what the heck I was doing. I had no idea, and so I knew one producer, and I called him up and I said, can you come help me make these films? And so he did, and he taught me everything, and we rented a soundstage much like this one, and we built a biblical village in it. And we built it in about 2 weeks, and then we tore it down in about a day or two. And that's what the Lord used to drop in my spirit to build the biblical village. And so that's, what I was passionate and very driven and knew that the Lord told me that. And then I had to go convince my husband,
which is the hard part,
that I needed to build this village, which he did not see it my way at first. But through much prayer, then he finally did, and he's very supportive now. But it was challenging getting everybody on my page.
On our page that the Lord was on. The Lord first put her on that.
On our page.
On our page.
Yes.
And you, for the 12 years then, you did produce some films, right? And had some productions?
Yeah, I did short films, and we do live productions, as you know. And these are massive. We use the whole property, and we bring you through scenes with actors, live action scenes, and you feel like you're immersed in the experience. So we have an Easter show called the Crimson. That will be the next one coming up. So we encourage you to come. It's amazing.
But much like what people are doing here at Content, you had the learning process and actually hands-on learned because you didn't know anything about making a movie or filmmaking, so it was a learning process for you as well.
Yeah, and when I've done one feature film, which is Washington's Armor, and doing that, I'd never done a feature film, and so that was, different than a short film. So it was, a lot more challenging to do that than it was the short films.
Yes.
But it was amazing, and it's on Prime, Amazon Prime now, and some other networks that you can watch it.
And it is a great film, and I mean, it's a beautiful film. It's beautifully done. She directed this in amazing ways. In fact, there's a scene in where he's pulled out of an icy river, and I was like, Tammy, where did you find that icy river to pull him out of? And wasn't he cold? And she laughed. Where was the icy river scene where he pulled him?
It was in our stage A right over there.
See, and I counted myself, I've been a critic for all these years and I can tell the difference. I couldn't tell the difference. I'm telling you, it's amazing. So go look on Amazon Prime. Funny fact, I just heard from someone, it's doing really well in Europe. The Europeans love the story of George Washington because it is the first part of his life and how he got into saving our country and becoming a president. Now, leading into that, you still have in your heart to tell more of the story, don't you, about George Washington?
Yes. So the first film was about his journey, his very first military commission, and then that was amazing. And God protected him miraculously during that story that's already out. And then the next one we want to do is called Bulletproof, and we want to do that story because it really shows the providence of God over his life. And he was shot 4 times in his jacket with musket balls, but it never touched his body. And so it's an amazing story. Plus, he meets the First Lady. He meets her, Martha, and just a lot of other fun stuff.
Now, this is a bigger film to do because it's got a battle scene, right? I mean, this is kind of a bigger scale maybe than the first one, or different anyway.
Well, the first one has battle as well, but this battle is bigger because it's the French and Indian War. It's a battle in the Battle of Monongahela in the French and Indian War. So that'll be challenging.
Are you going to a certain location? You're going to a fort to shoot this, right? Or some of the scenes?
We're shooting a proof of concept teaser in November. And so, yes, we're going to Old Fort Parker, and that's in Groesbeck, Texas, and it's beautiful. I love that fort. I'm so excited to get to shoot there. It's an amazing place. So we're going to have some really cool scenes. Plus, we're going to shoot some of the battle and here, and some other things here. So
I am excited about that. For people, I just want you to know, because she won't say it, Capernaum does so much for the homeschool crowd, for the homeschool tours. We do tours for kids. This movie, these 2 movies actually are her passion. It's to tell the story of George Washington in history. She's a patriot, so she wants to tell the story. For those of you who've never been to Capernaum, it is an experience. Everyone here I've been talking to, it's like we thought it was one thing on the website, but then they come and it's a whole different thing. So you have a chance to contribute, to donate. If you'd like to donate, if you love George Washington and you want to donate to that film, we've got a way for CapernaumStudios.com that you can actually contribute. And some of you actually can do it in an interesting way and maybe even be a background extra. We have a couple of fun things for that to do. But I mean, it's also with a studio to donate to Capernaum Studios. This is a place that God has not only destined, but everyone that comes on here so they can feel the Spirit of the Lord. Can't they? That's what we get all the time.
Yeah, because it's not just about us and what we're doing. We empower filmmakers, and we want other filmmakers to be able to come and film and do their own projects and, get the story of the Lord out there.
Right. So if you want to contribute to that because you have a passion and believe in that too, if you're a homeschooler and you want to see what we have to offer for homeschoolers, check out our website. There's a lot going on at Capernaum Studios. And Tammy, I'm excited. Thank you for coming on with me. Thank you. It was so neat interviewing her. My preference. I'm so excited. Thanks for coming on.
I'll see you at work.
See you at work real soon, like after we get off.
Well, here I am right now with DeAnn Alaine, who is, by the way, a very serious person. She only does serious work. What?
I think we both know better.
Did I get it wrong? Do I have the wrong person here?
I am such a dramatic actor. I'm dramatic.
I've known you for a couple of years or so. You are a very funny person.
Amen. Amen. Christians should be the most joyful people on the planet. It doesn't mean we don't have things that we don't have to overcome.
Right.
But we are overcomers. And so joy is a huge part of that overcoming.
And isn't there a scripture that talks about laughter?
It sure is. It's as a medicine to the bone.
Medicine to the bone. Oh, I need laughter because my bones are hurting now that I'm getting this old.
Look at you. You look.
So, tell me a little bit about what you're doing now.
So I have been working towards doing stand-up comedy for Christian women's events and speaking, but we have our first sitcom coming out of Comedian Productions called Fade Away, and it's about the best third-rate funeral home in Polk County.
Did you say third rate?
Yeah. They try so hard to be a first-rate funeral home, but they just can't get their act together. So as much as they try, they're the perfect group of misfits. And so it's a workplace comedy. And although it's not a faith-based comedy, it's family-friendly, and there's morality in the show.
That's fine. And that brings me to an important question here.
Yeah.
Comedy by nature is irreverent. Let's call it irreverent because you tend to make fun of things. And so, I've seen a lot of Christian comedians that, of course, make fun of. It seems like they're making fun of the Christian faith. They're making fun of our stuff that we do as Christians that is sometimes kind of funny, kind of silly.
Yeah.
But there's people that get offended by that. How do you deal with that?
Well, the spirit of offense is a real thing, and a comedian, how I personally handle it is I just know that my style of comedy isn't for everyone. It's just not. That's why it takes the whole body, right, to minister to the different parts. And so my comedy is for the demographic of people that are silly and goofy, who like the odd girl, who like musical comedy, and knowing that in advance, knowing that I'm not for everyone, and getting that pushback when it happens, because it does happen, is an expected thing. And so because it's expected, it doesn't take me by surprise. And the Bible says I'm more than an overcomer through Jesus Christ. Right. So it helps keep me grounded in knowing that even when someone has an issue, I am still overcoming what they may be struggling with. Because it might be something that they're struggling with.
Sure. Great answer. Now, you used to do something, I don't know if you're still doing it, you can tell us that I thought was just an amazing idea, and that is that you would do little interviews like this, but in your car, going through a car wash.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So the show is now called Suds and Superstars, and it's not like superstars of the way most people think with Hollywood. It's just amazing, godly people, and so we go through, it's a half-hour show. We go through the car wash, playing a funny game. We'll go through the car wash like 2 or 3 times. And then the second half is interview style, where I get to find out, and my audience gets to find out about the person who is either in a movie or leading a ministry, and seeing how has God called them to do what they're doing. So it can be seen in October on Soulwind TV with one of my girlfriends, Alana Dela Cruz. It still has the old name, but because we've been rebranding it. But we still love the show, but Fade Away has taken a front seat. So reruns are still out there. Just watch for it on Soulwind TV.
Soulwind TV.
In October.
And you must, of course, have a very clean car at this point.
It is so clean. It's so clean. Except sometimes I find like random game pieces and cards scattered that have fallen during the car wash, and so I find those little trinkets that remind me of different episodes that we've had. And what I'm really looking forward to is having you and Holly on the show. I can't wait.
Can we do it on my car? Because it's dirty.
Yeah, I will pay for your car wash.
Well, so how can people follow you?
So if you just go to my website, all of my social links are there. Okay. So it's www.DeAnnAlaine.com. Everything, all my social media links, plus videos of my stand-up comedy are there. The Car Wash Comedy Show is there. Fade Away can be found on my website too. We Great. Just made it live on YouTube so people can enjoy a half an hour of clean, family-friendly fun.
No pun intended with the car wash.
I'm such a dork. I'm really good at being a dork.
And you play the ukulele, I think it was?
I do. In fact, okay, this is total spoiler alert. Total spoiler alert. I wrote a comedic song for when my son was a younger man, and it's called Keep Your Clothes On, and it's a pro-abstinence song for teenagers and for parents. And so the opening scene of Fade Away is me singing to a bunch of teenagers, Keep Your Clothes On.
Oh, wow. I should have heard that song when I was a teenager.
That makes two of us.
That was too much info. Thank you for being with us. I know you've got a lot of visiting to do with everybody here at the conference. There's a lot of great people here, and some you may know and some you need to meet today.
Yeah, absolutely. We're counting on divine appointments here at Content Media Festival, and I thank you so much for having me on the show. Sure. I love you and Holly. I love Faith on Film, and I've been a fan of what you do and how you help guide people with movies and interviews towards things that are safe for families to watch. I'm already a fan of yours, so I'm just saying, you have to know that.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Well, we have a special guest on our show today who's actually our technician. And the reason he's special is because, Isaac, you want to introduce him?
Because he's my grandson. What's your name?
Jaxon.
Jackson's his name.
Jaxon what?
Jaxon Martinez.
There you go. You know, Holly, so I've got 3 kids and 7 grandkids. Do you know that none of them have caught the bug of media? And I wanted to at least have one that follows in my footsteps. I'm hoping it's him.
And now you have one. You have one. Jaxon, we are so proud of you.
Thank you.
Thank you for helping us out today, okay?
You're welcome.
Being part of our team. Hey, we raise them young, right? But hey, the legacy, it continues.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this very special Faith on Film episode. It was very exciting for me to have my grandson there. He was very helpful. He helped me unload the equipment. He helped me set up the equipment. He helped me run the equipment as I was doing some of the interviews. So very exciting for me. I really do hope that he follows in my footsteps. I'm wanting for somebody in my family to get involved in Christian media, and hopefully it's him. He said he really enjoyed it, so that's a really good thing. Again, I want to remind you to visit our website, faithonfilmtv.com. That's faithonfilmtv.com. And you know what? Shoot us a little email at faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. It's faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. All right, well, that'll do it for this week. So until next week, take care.
Write to us at faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. That's faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Faith on Film TV. Also, go to our YouTube channel, Faith on Film TV, and hit the subscribe button and the bell for notifications on our latest Faith on Film shows.